Awesome. I believe everyone can see my screen and can hear me clearly. All right, so today we're going to be looking at, this is actually the episode 4, the 4th episode of Crypto Over Coffee. And in the previous episode, we talked about the reason why, there's so much craze about crypto in this day and in this generation. Over the past few episodes, we've been examining the reasons why people are so crazy about cryptocurrencies. We really wanted to find out if it's just a bubble that was going to pop soon, or if it was just a bandwagon effect. Something about this generation is the fact that we like social validation, and whatever is trending, everybody wants to jump on it. We have a thing for the trend. So we really had to sit and ask ourselves, is this us trying to be a part of the trend, or is there really something in cryptocurrencies that I really need to look into? All right, and it's been awesome. If you missed the previous episode, you can just go back to our YouTube channel and catch up on everything that we've discussed. All right, so today we're going to be looking at starting your crypto journey. Cryptocurrencies are like a safe haven. All right, this is the major role that blockchain came to perform. It came as an alternative to our crashing economy. But then today we want to look at how to actually begin the crypto journey. You've heard so much about it. You now know that it's not a bubble that's going to burst anytime soon. So how do you begin your crypto journey? I hear a lot of people coming into my DMs and saying, okay, fine, I've heard about this crypto thing. How do I eventually start? And that is what we're going to be examining tonight. Okay, but before then, I want to give you a quick fact. All right, and the fact is this: did you know that Jordan Belfort? Now, I don't know how many of us know Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street. All right, I believe a lot of us have watched that movie, But in case you didn't know his name, the movie is actually about a guy called Jordan Belfort. All right, so he is the Wolf of Wall Street, and if you watch that movie, you know that this guy is actually big on stocks. All right, and he actually made a whole lot of money back then. But then the amazing thing is that this same guy, the stock investor, used to be a critique of Bitcoin. Now you should be amazed, because that is so vast, that has made so much money from stocks, and Bitcoin is not exactly so far from stocks. You should be wondering why he's such a critique of Bitcoin. And back then, but that was in 2017, 2016, he had an interview with a popular guy known as Andrew Salt. And in that interview, he said that he's not actually a fan of the blockchain, of Bitcoin, but he's a fan of the blockchain technology. I mean, that was like an irony. So he said he actually liked the idea behind the technology, the fact that it's decentralized and all of that. But as per trading cryptocurrencies, especially Bitcoin, he felt that it was a bubble that was going to pop soon. And funny enough, he was right, because not too long after he said so, that was in 2017, Bitcoin rose to almost 20K, and then it had a Humpty Dumpty fall. I mean, if you ever read the poem Humpty Dumpty back then in your nursery school, you understand that Humpty Dumpty had a great fall, and according to that poem, it said not all the king's horses nor the king's men could put Humpty Dumpty back together again. So Bitcoin crashed like Humpty Dumpty all the way down to $3,500. And we were in a bear market for 2 full years. Now you can imagine how sad and how scary that was. So Jordan Belfort, where he was then, would probably feel like, see, I told you all that it was gonna crash, and all of that, feeling like that was the end for Bitcoin. But fast forward to 4 years down the line, Bitcoin has been parabolic. And we can see that Bitcoin is set to hit 100K in the next few months. In fact, before the end of the year. Now, this goes a long way to show that Jordan Belfort was actually wrong, because recently this year, this same guy has come and he has said that he's sorry about his previous claims about Bitcoin, and now he's a fan of Bitcoin, and he's actually even predicting that Bitcoin is going to hit 100K. Okay, so what do I want you to take out of this? I want you to know that speculations that these investors, especially people from Generation X and the baby boomers. Most of the speculation that these guys have about Bitcoin will end up being false. Now, some of you might have questioned yourself on why people like Warren Buffett, these guys are big guys in stocks, they've made so much money. George Soros, you might be wondering why these guys are not talking about Bitcoin. And I think it will be unwise for anybody to think that because Warren Buffett is not talking about Bitcoin is not a good investment. Because the truth is, if Warren Buffett wakes up tomorrow and decides to invest in Bitcoin, it's going to be a whale. All right. Okay. So that is one. Moving on. This year, especially, from the end of 2020 to the beginning of this year, and even until 2 days ago, we've seen the rise of institutional investors like PayPal, Grayscale, MicroStrategy, Square, and even JP Morgan, who used to be very negative about Bitcoin. We've seen them become Bitcoin crusaders. And as a matter of fact, an article on Cointelegraph recently told us that the circulation, the Bitcoin in circulation right now is actually threatened because we have a whole lot of institutional investors coming into Bitcoin, and these guys are whales. They're not buying 1K Bitcoin, they're not buying $2,000 Bitcoin, they're buying Bitcoin in massive amounts. All right, now this is to further prove to you that Bitcoin is not going anywhere anytime soon. So if you're thinking like Jordan Belfort that in the next 3 years Bitcoin is going to be, it's going to disappear into thin air, I'm sorry to tell you that you're very mistaken. All right, so we can see that apart from the fact that institutional investors are getting into this whole Bitcoin thing, Bitcoin is becoming a culture, and in more extreme terms, an addiction for the millennial investor. All right, and apart from that, to the conservative investors like our parents who believe in real estate, Bitcoin is becoming a diversification option. Some of them that used to be naysayers, they're now beginning to see Bitcoin as, okay, fine, I think we really need to look into this. If JP Morgan is going into it, if Jordan Belfort is having a rethink about Bitcoin, okay, fine, I think we really need to have a rethink. And some of them who are not fully convinced, they're already looking at it as a diversification option. All right, so they just feel like, okay, let me just put some money there, not my full money, not my main money, but just some money there. All right, and the craze about Bitcoin that we've been talking about, like we said in the last episode, it has left the older generation wondering and curious at the same time because they don't understand why we're so pumped about cryptos. All right, and one thing that really scares them is the fact that the guys that are fueling the crypto craze, they're not even investment analysts. All right, so if those guys were probably bankers, if they were like maybe Warren Buffett, most of our friends say, okay, fine, Warren Buffett is talking about Bitcoin. Yes. Okay, we listen to you, Warren Buffett, But it's funny because, and it's scary too for them, because the people that are pushing this whole crypto thing, they are rappers, they are artists, they are TikTok influencers. Now, if you followed us on the last episode, we talked about communities and how Reddit, how GitHub, Twitter, most of these social communities are pushing these meme coins. All right, so, and the thing about our parents, when they see a rapper, tattoos, everything, they feel like this person is not serious. Imagine that this person is now influencing something that we'll call an investment. It's scary for them. But what they don't understand is that millennials have a thing for influential people. All right, and then for heaven's sake, if you're influential, you can influence anything. Look at Dogecoin. Dogecoin has been the talk of the week. We see that because Elon Musk took up Dogecoin, we can see how Dogecoin has performed. This is a coin, a meme coin that just started as a joke, but because somebody of influence decided to, look into it, we see how Dogecoin has made so many persons a millionaire. So this is what you get in the crypto space. It's crazy, all right? It's really crazy. It's not a bubble. I keep emphasizing this because the truth is, I believe that many people, it might take more than one episode, more than one discussion to convince them. A lot of persons still feel that this is a bubble that is going to burst. Now, more reasons why, in case you're still a naysayer, you should be looking into Bitcoin is the fact that apart from institutional investors that we've talked about, we also have TikTok influencers. We also have celebrities getting in on the crypto tide. I don't know if you're aware that some of these football clubs now have tokens on Binance. All right, FC Barcelona has a token on Binance, and we're going to see more to come. Now, recently we've seen that athletes are being paid in crypto. Recently, Ronaldo got paid in cryptocurrencies, and very soon we're going to see more people, all the fans of Messi. Probably Messi is also going to start taking his payments in cryptocurrencies. This guy is big on NFTs. Now, if you are very up to date with the crypto industry, with the blockchain industry generally, you will know that NFT is the major trend for this year. And this guy has tokens on Rarible. Now, Rarible is a place where you buy and sell NFT tokens. We talked about Elon Musk influencing Dogecoin and so many other people, and in the days to come, you're going to see more artists, more celebrities. Who knows? Maybe tomorrow, Jay-Z. In fact, Jay-Z is already into the whole crypto thing. In case you don't know, you're probably going to see Beyonce joining the crypto thing. And lastly, I'm going to state this before we move into the next phase of our discussion. Most of us know Nas now, Nas the singer, and most of us are aware that Coinbase actually had their IPO recently. Now, Nas was very, 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 very proactive, and he got in on the Coinbase IPO, and he made $40 million. I think that's just an estimate of what he made from the Coinbase ICO. All right, and Nas is calling for more people to join this Bitcoin trend. Why? Because even in his music video that he released recently, there's a part of the music video that, he talked about how he made so much money from Coinbase, and how that people should begin to look into it. If you follow me on WhatsApp, you must have seen me when I posted that video on my WhatsApp status. I also posted it on Facebook and on Instagram, so you can just go and check and see what I'm talking about. All right, so yes, this is what is happening in the crypto industry in the world today. And if you're probably conversant with the whole that if you're a Christian now and you're conversant with the whole one world currency, one world government, most likely it will be crypto, because I see crypto making the world one. All right, crypto is a universal currency. I mean, we can now do borderless payments with cryptocurrency. So I do not see any other innovation that would be bigger than cryptocurrencies. Now, on that note, having heard all of this, you might be asking yourself, how do I begin this crypto journey? You've said so much about crypto, about how celebrities are getting in on it and all of that. How do I begin my journey? So the first thing you want to do, in fact, as a matter of fact, I must commend you, because joining this live show, this talk show is the first step towards becoming very, very, very well positioned in this industry. So yes, you're here, you're getting knowledge. This is the first step. All right, because the first thing you want to do before you get into any investment, whether cryptocurrencies, whether stock, whether real estate, is to get knowledge. All right, you really want to get knowledge. Now, the fastest way to fail is to delve into anything without taking some time to acquire knowledge. All right, and this is what I see a lot of persons do, and it's sad. Now, yesterday I saw a screenshot of someone who said he was telling someone else that he paid 100K to get a Binance account. And I was like, oh my God, like seriously? It was really funny, but it was sad. I mean, how could you pay 100,000 naira to get a Binance account? Binance is literally free. You go to your Play Store or your App Store and download the app, and then you activate your account. It's that simple. But then, because of ignorance, because somebody was trying to get in too fast into the whole crypto thing, because somebody probably heard about Dogecoin and how Dogecoin has made millionaires, and he feels like, oh, I also want to make so much money. I want to, this thing is pumping. The person wanted to FOMO, and then he ended up in the wrong hands. I mean, that 100,000 naira was good enough for him to kickstart his crypto journey. I mean, putting in that 100,000 naira, even in maybe not Dogecoin, all right, putting that 100,000 naira in a solid investment, a solid project would have gone a long way for him. But because of ignorance, because he decided not to get knowledge first, he ended up being what? Defrauded. And that is it with a lot of persons. If you don't take a time to acquire knowledge, you're going to get burnt. Now, I didn't just start trading when I started my crypto journey. I took time, all right? I had a mentor. I was already in some of these very huge communities, right, in the crypto space, but I wasn't trading. I was taking my time to observe. I was taking my time to understand how this thing works. You know, so the first thing you want to do before getting in on any trade, before downloading the Binance app, I've had some people come to my DM, you know, and they'll tell me that I have the Binance app, but I don't know how to use it. And in my mind, I'm asking them, why did you download the Binance app in the first place? Like, seriously, you felt it was a game that you could just download and toy around with and probably understand? It doesn't work that way. So please and please, the first thing you need to do is to get knowledge. All right, and how do you get this knowledge? Because personally, I tell people that when it comes to investing, especially, the last thing you want to do is invest blindly. Because if you don't have an idea of what you're investing in, there's a very high tendency for you to get defrauded. You know, your investor, whoever is investing for you, will just rip you off and you won't even know. So please and please try to get enough knowledge. Now, on the other hand, I'm going to say two things in this regard. You also do not need to wait until you have all the information before you begin. Now, so we're going to take it one after the other. There are two parts to this thing. I said, first of all, you need to get knowledge. And then I also said that you don't need to wait until you have all the knowledge before you begin, because this is an ever-evolving industry. Now, the next question you would want to ask me is, how do I learn? How do I get this knowledge? All right. Now, we all know we have, we're in an information age. We have excess information. We have YouTube, Google, Yahoo Finance, and all of that presents an ocean of resources to any and everyone. Now, there's almost no search query that you put on Google that comes back empty. You know, if you go on Google and you type what is cryptocurrency, you definitely get results, massive results. You get so many articles, you get so many videos when you go on YouTube. All right. Now, you can begin from there. It's not bad to begin from there. You can just read random articles on Google. But then the only downside to this part is this particular strategy is that you would not get curated information. All right, you wouldn't get curated information. There's, you know, there's so many videos out there. There's so much information that you have a tendency to get lost. All right, and the same thing happens with Forex. You know, I believe in mentorship, and a whole lot of persons feel like, oh yeah, I can do Forex myself. It's not just to go on YouTube and get videos. You know, trust me, I've gone down that path before, and I ended up more confused than I understood. It was really crazy because everybody seemed to have different strategy, and that was when I really understood that the Forex market, there's no one way to trade the Forex market. People have different strategies. This person is using price action. This person is using maybe just normal indicators, and you know, everybody has a strategy. So the same thing applies to crypto. If you go out there, you would not get curated information, and you end up wasting much more time and probably wasting money too. So there is a solution to this. The solution is actually in twofold. One, you can tailor your search. All right. Now, how do I mean tailor your search? You can define the scope of your search, and this means you're not going to be searching randomly on Google or YouTube. You're going to be looking at sites that offer curated information, and an example would be Binance Academy. All right, so Binance Academy is one place you can begin your learning, your journey. Binance Academy is a whole truckload of information. You get information on everything. Anything you need to know about cryptocurrency, you can start on Binance Academy, and you can just go on Google or your Safari and type Binance Academy, and there you are, ready to learn. And then, okay, I think I'm going to post the link in the WhatsApp group as soon as we're done with this meeting. All right, and also when you check Binance Academy, Binance, not Midas, Binance Academy. All right, So also by the time when I'm posting this this YouTube video, all right, because this video is definitely going to be on YouTube, I'm going to be posting some of these links in the description of the video. So if you want to find out this free site where you can get good information, all right, you can just check the YouTube video when it's up and check the description, and you get some of these links. All right, so guys, this meeting is going to be ending in 10 minutes, and then once it's ended, I'll send another link so we can join in. Okay, so basically this is one solution to the problem. You can set on tailor-made sites, all right, and I just told you how you're going to do that. Binance Academy is one, and then the links I'm going to post. Now the second solution is to join a learning and mentoring platform. In Nigeria especially, you hear a lot about crypto communities, all right? You hear about crypto communities, this community, that community. Why? Because these are learning communities. And I just told you that in as much as there's so much information out there, it's hard to get curated information. So what these communities do for you is that they help you get mentored and trained. Excuse me. So you don't have to waste your time browsing the internet for so long and not even understanding what you're doing. This community usually is a mentorship platform where you have somebody who mentors you, all right, maybe physically or virtually. You know, the person takes your hand and walks you through the crypto market. Now what this does for you is that you get highly tailored, laser sharp and profit scooping information. All right, now another thing is the fact that you have a real life person to relate with. Of course, you know that you don't understand some things in one day. Like generally when I teach my paid subscribers how to trade on Binance, most of them don't even get it the first time. All right, so the advantage of belonging to these communities or having somebody mentor you is the fact that you can always go back and ask questions like, okay, I didn't get this part, can you repeat this part? Okay, you can ask all your questions, you know, where you don't understand, you can go over it over and over again, and then the person becomes your guide all through the journey. All right, so let's say you come across anything, because this happens to me a lot. I get a lot of inbox from my paid subscribers. People come into my DM and ask me, okay, what's this? Okay, I came across this, what does it mean? Okay, wow, what does this mean? Can I saw this token, is it a good buy? Is it a good what's the entry point? You know, so many questions. But then if you do not belong to a mentorship platform, you would not get that. You can ask all these questions on Google. You can ask all these questions on YouTube. Sometimes you might not get answers. So it's better you have someone in real life who can walk you through this process. It makes your journey easier and it helps your understanding. Now, another advantage of getting in on these communities is the fact that you get into a community of investors. All right, you get into a community of like minds, people who you can network with, people who you can always ask questions. You know, it's better, all right, when you're in a community. You learn faster, even though this doesn't work for anybody anyway. But then it's part of it. And finally, and I feel like this is the highest benefit of joining a paid platform or a mentorship platform, is the fact that you get in early on highly profitable projects. Now, I always say this to people, that trading profitably when it comes to trading cryptocurrencies depends a lot on information, a whole lot on information. Now, I belong to a whole lot of these communities, top high paid communities, like really expensive communities. And you know, when people come to me and they tell me that, oh, like, I want to join your paid platform, and I tell them the price, and they're like, oh really? And that's quite high. I tell them that I belong to a minimum of 5 communities, and the least amount for each of those, the least amount amongst all the communities I belong to is $500. So okay, and so when I tell them that, they're like, oh my god. So now, why do people really join this community? Some people already know how to trade, right? Some people are not newbies, you know, they're not newbies to this whole crypto thing, but they join communities. Why? Because of timely information. Sometimes when it comes to trading cryptos, the difference between your losses and your wins is your access to information and the timeliness of that information. Now, the way the crypto space works is that, of course, we know that the crypto space is very volatile, extremely volatile. So sometimes if you happen to get a signal, all right, you get an entry point as at 9 p.m. and let's say maybe you were busy or something, and before you finally got to see that signal, it was already 10 p.m. You might be very late. You might just be very late, because by the time you're checking at 10 p.m., that token might have done 12%, 15%, or 20%. The space is that volatile. So this is one of the reasons why people join communities, for timely information, for access to projects, low cap coins, all right, that can do 3x to 4x profit, or sometimes 10x to 20x to 100x. Now, I'll give a typical example. A typical example is Doge, all right. As at January, Doge was less than a cent. Doge was, less than a cent. And we all know that Doge hit its all-time high this Wednesday at 69 cents. Now, that is massive, all right. Now let's look at the $100 investment. Sorry, $1,000 investment rather in Doge as at January would be, according to CNBC report. Let me just check that. According to CNBC report, it says that a $1,000 investment in Doge as at January would have been $121,000 in May. All right, so you see that this means that Doge did over 12,000% between January and May. Now, imagine if most people that I know are just getting in on the Doge information recently, right? Maybe May, maybe April, and people are just trying to scoop profit. But the real investors actually invested around January and February. On my paid platform, for example, we started talking about Doge. We started highlighting Doge since January ending and February. So imagine if you got this information around that time. Imagine if you invested even just your tiny $100 in Doge in February. By now, you'll be in massive profit. So one of the reasons why, and this is the main reason, like I said, people get into these platforms, this paid platform, this mentorship platform, is access to information, all right? Access to information, because information is what makes the difference between profitable traders and unprofitable traders in this space. Information is key, all right? So mostly this is what people pay for, and this is why people join some of these platforms. Okay, now if you've been trading cryptocurrencies, you probably know about Tikatuari. Now, Tikatuari is a very popular crypto trader and crypto analyst. He has this newsletter, where he, at the beginning of the year, he gives his subscribers the tokens that they're going to do, that are going to do very well, like up to 100x in the year. Now, guess what? Why do people subscribe to his newsletter? All right, why do people subscribe to his newsletter? It's because of timely information. And guess what? His newsletter is as expensive as, I think it's about $15,000. Right, $15,000 to subscribe. Now imagine people, and of course he has so many subscribers. So many subscribers. Now you would think that paying that amount is quite ridiculous. $15,000 is a whole lot of money if you begin to convert to naira. But that is how much people value information, because they know that by the time they get getting early on these tokens that he's going to call, they're going to make so much. They're going to make multiples of that money that he paid. So this is another solution. Remember, we've talked about two things. We've talked about getting knowledge, and we said you can get knowledge randomly on the internet, and you can also, get curated knowledge by searching for curated information on some of these platforms. And we talked about Binance Academy. Now, we also talked about getting mentorship, that is subscribing to paid platform.